These were the views from our cottage in Shuru village as we looked down the Manali valley. Waterfalls fed by the melting snow, pine-forested lower Himalayas, and skies with equal chances of a clear day or an overcast one. The apple blossoms in bloom. Spring was a great time to be here. Let's take you to Manali town for a spin. The tourists are beginning to arrive and the auto rickshaws are spinning in circles just like they are doing all over the country. You can only imagine how these market streets will be bustling with the summer vacation tourists come June. We're on our way to a cafe and riders inn called, well, Ride In. And since we're riding there, let me tell you about a secret route that you can take if you're heading towards Solang. Head towards Old Manali and after crossing the bridge, take a right instead of taking a left. The left will take you to Old Manali. This route on the right bank of the Vyas is little used and once again, you can get some off-road type sections. Well, this was a lovely morning to ride, as was the route, and we were looking forward to a well-made cappuccino and a big breakfast. More than one rider friend had told me about Ride In, and here it is. Closed.
Yeah, why? What did you say? I called him up. I said, can we have some coffee? He said, no, sir, we are closed. And I said, like, what time is it? Sir, we are closed. We cannot take it. Bad, very bad. His name was Govind or something. Govind.
Well, it's disappointing when folks who run place for riders lack the spirit of the pursuit. I mean, why leave your number on the closed sign if you don't want to be called back, right?
En route को एक सी जगह देख के breakfast कर लेंगे. No. Now we'll go from the other side.
So we took the highway on the way back to avoid the Manali market rush and stopped at a good old dhaba. You can never go wrong with sticking with the local offerings wherever you might travel. Oh God, still craving for samosas. It started in the first episode and refuses to go away. Anyway, we agreed on chola bhaturas and boy, were they good. In a way, I'm glad that Ride-In was shut till late morning. Back at the cottage, we parked our bikes and got into Vijay Bhai's gypsy. But first things first, head to the local butcher to source some fresh mutton for today's lunch. Wait up till our cut is ready and then start our drive up to Sethan village. I visited Sethan first in 1996 when it was a 2-hour trek from a village called Prini. I recall the trail being steep and forested. But 23 years is a long time for things to change beyond recognition. Coincidentally, that's also how long Vijay Bhai and I have been friends. More than half our lives.
We are in Vijay Bhai's gypsy. We are driving up to Sethan. Look at the snow. बादल भी आ रहे हैं, बारिश भी होगी. अच्छा हुआ बाइक नहीं लाया.
That's अच्छा हुआ बाइक नहीं लाया, not wife नहीं लाया. Okay, just clarifying.
ये तो फ्रेश जैसी दिखती है ऑलमोस्ट. बिल्कुल. अभी टूरिस्ट के हिसाब से सेथन काफी पॉपुलर हो गया.
काफी तो नहीं पूछते हैं, फिर भी चल रहा है. इट्स ओके. थोड़ा तेज हो गया ना, साफ तो बहुत अच्छा होगा.
जो आपको बनाना वैली की लास्ट बिट है ना रोड का,
जी
वो ऐसा ही है.
हाँ मतलब
बनाना वैली का जो लास्ट 2-3 किलोमीटर है
वो ऐसे सेम है.
थोड़ा नैरो है। वो जा रही थी मोटरसाइकिल बहुत अच्छे से आ रही थी। That last bit of the Malana Valley was like this only.
Same. I was missing the
In the four-wheeler when you're going, you feel, how will we do this? But the bike निकल जाता।
We drove off further towards the Hamta Valley to explore. But seeing the beauty of this area, we decided we should park our gypsy and go on foot. It was a good decision to take a walk and talk as Vijay Bhai recounted his days as a child in the village of Setan. He is originally a resident of this village.
तो उस टाइम वहाँ पंकज 2 महीने की छुट्टी होती थी, जुलाई और अगस्त, तो 1.5 महीने की थी, तो हम 1.5 महीना वहीं बैठे ऊपर ही, तो वहीं से तो पहले ट्रैक किया।
हाँ
अंग्रेज आए ना, वो हम थक गए तो
हम
हमने पास किया। हाँ
तो मैं आई थिंक आपके पिताजी से भी पहली बार ज्वारा में मिला था।
राइट,
करेक्ट,
बिल्कुल करेक्ट है।
96 में
जी बिल्कुल,
वो वहीं बैठे थे।
जी बिल्कुल।
तो अभी जो हमटा पास ट्रैक है विजय भाई, वो फिर कहाँ से शुरू, कहाँ से होता है? काफी
यहाँ से शुरू होता है।
अच्छा,
अब ये जो है ना, ये लास्ट पॉइंट ही है।
ओ तो हमटा पास से छतरू पहुँचने में उनको 4 दिन लगते हैं।
यहाँ से 4 दिन लगाते हैं, चौथे दिन पहुँच जाते हैं।
इजी मतलब दिन में 3 घंटा चलते हुए
3-4। पर यूट्यूब वाला क्राउड है ना, फिर आपको पता ही है।
यूट्यूब करेक्ट,
यूट्यूब वाला क्राउड है ना।
हम भी डालेंगे यूट्यूब पे, ऐसी बात नहीं है।
नहीं वो दूसरे है ना, जैसे वो
नहीं समझ गया। हाँ
लगने वाले।
ये गया तो मेरे को भी जाना।
It's a fact. These days, if you didn't put it on social media, it never happened. Anyway, we have a senior.
Plenty of snow, difficult terrain, and then you see a little Maruti Omni making its way. Look at that. चढ़ गई, अटक गई। It made it reasonable to a reasonable distance, huh? By the way, now we'll have to go push it. Now जी धक्का मारा, निकल गई। Got snow all over our shoes.
You don't ever get over the view that the Himalayas have to offer. Even these rocky and vertical steep cliffs are captivating. Back at Setan, we huddle into one of Vijay's friends' eatery, who on request was kind enough to cook our mutton for us.
पंकज का मीठा है यहाँ, डेयरी मिल्क है, 5 स्टार भी है, गुलाब जामुन भी होगा भाई के पास। गुलाब जामुन खत्म हो गया, नहीं तो भाई के पास वो भी रहता है।
पंकज यहाँ तो आपको मीठा मिल जाएगा।
जलेबी भी खत्म हो गया। जलेबी खत्म हो गया। पानी गिरा दिया। है कि नहीं है? देखो भाई, बोनस है।
Pankaj's craving for sweet will sadly have to wait. Despite a thorough search of the premises, nothing sweet was found. It'll have to be a spoonful of sugar, I guess. But the freshly made piping hot mutton curry and rice though, life doesn't get any better. Mountain Voyages is the outdoor company that Vijay Bhai owns and runs. And if you are in Manali and want to experience the outdoors and authentic local lifestyle, I would recommend you get in touch with them. I'll leave their contact number in the info for your benefit. On our way back, we stopped at a point where we could see a long stretch of the Kullu Valley and the ever-expanding town of Manali below us. With this, our trip here was pretty much done, and the next morning it was time to load up and hit the road.
Unfortunately, the camera was off, and unfortunately, I had a crash.
याद की तौर पे रखा
याद की रखो आप, याद की तौर पे. And mirror, and unfortunately, a lot of the fairing.
माउंटिंग आपकी थोड़ी टेढ़ी हो गई.
Mounting भी तेरी होगी.
नीचे हो गया आपका थोड़ा सा ऊपर.
ठीक है, चलेगा. Okay, let's resume.
What happened?
On the-
I don't use the bike. Can't you go down?
It's fairing and all the shit's gone. Bracket is gone. So, a lot of damage. I don't know how I did it.
Putting back those broken parts on Pankaj's advice for the insurance claims, yes, in those shoes. And they are bungeed outside because I'll need to change them as I drop my bike off at the railway station in Chandigarh. It's a complicated plan, man, don't ask. Might as well see what I can from my right mirror. So off we were on the Manali-Kullu Mandi highway. We had a long day ahead of us with 380 odd kilometers to ride all the way to Chandigarh. I won't bore you with this long stretch. I'm sure there will be plenty moto vlogs of Delhi to Manali making this out to be some sort of an adventure, which it isn't. It is drudgery at best. The roads are horrible in lots of patches with heavy vehicles who can't budge and plenty of crazed four-wheelers driving like coked-out zombies who won't budge. As we lost height and temperatures rose in the plains, sugarcane juice was the drink of choice for its sugary revival and its cool effect. The tea kettle did feel a little ignored.
We're decanting the petrol from the bike, as is mandatory by the railways. This is where she's going to get packed, and then off she goes on the train. Today was a pretty long ride. We did 380 kilometers. Took us 10 hours plus. But then there was lots of stuff that happened. There was a point in time where I dropped the bike. Yeah, so it took us 10 hours plus from Manali to here. We took a longer route. In fact, that's a route which I must tell you guys about. If you are going from Chandigarh to Manali, instead of taking the regular route which Google will show you, which would be through Bilaspur, you take this other route, okay, which your waypoint is Una. So if you put Una in the middle, take that route. It is, trust me, probably the best set of twisties that are there in the country, man. It's really great. So yeah, now you know. The ride back from Manali after finishing a good trip doesn't need to be drudgery. With a well-deserved chilled beer back at the hotel. Cheers to you all who are watching this too. After a good night's rest and a half-decent breakfast to start the day at this very reasonably priced and well-kept motel called the Aroma Hotel in Chandigarh, I'll leave the link for you. I was in my Uber and on my way to the Chandigarh airport. As I walked in the corridors that would feed me into a jet plane, which would transport me from the lesser known to the all too familiar, I thought to myself, well, another motor adventure has come to an end. From the green unoccupied lands outside of Chandigarh to the concrete concentration of every inch of land in Mumbai. It was touchdown and time to exit from this temporary escape. A few days later, I found myself walking in this city I call home, and how it was worlds apart from its distant Himalayan cousin. And how different each child's future would be based
on which of these two worlds they were born in. Sometimes it's difficult to really be transported completely and truly in that jet plane. Yet, here I was, picking up Ashi, my Honda Africa twin, to prep her for probably another trip. Though one part of me was still hanging out with Pankaj, feeding those lambs, one part of me was still walking in the snow. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to catch more motor travel diaries like this one. I'll see you soon. This is Vipin saying, ciao.